Guys, so I wanted to share a story of what happened to me today at the gym. So after this, I guess it's called Pilates class because it's like a fast moving yoga. But anyway, there's a shavasana, and so it's a time where you just like sit in silence. And I always take that time to pray and listen to what God has to say. Like a meditation time for me. So one of the things that I said to God today was, how painful, actually, I guess the only thing during this 5-minute shavasana was how painful it's been to not really feel him active in my life lately. And I love getting messages from him, and I feel like I haven't gotten that in a while. And so all of a sudden I saw myself like covered in vines, like dead vines. And all you could see were my eyes. And so I screamed out, "Where's the gardener?" And I said, "Why is this garden such a mess?" I said, I'm covered in vines. And somebody said to me, which I don't know who, guardian angel maybe, in my meditative state, of course, they said to me, "Why would he come and take care of this garden? You haven't asked." And I said, "Well, why wouldn't he just do it?" And he said, "Well, why would he do that? Why? You have free will." And he said, "You need to call for him, ask him." And so I did. I said, God, Jesus, come take care of these vines. I'm covered in vines, please. And that's all I ever wanted, but I just haven't been really taking the time to ask him. And I saw myself covered in them. I mean, surrounded by them. It was like, I looked like a mummy, but instead of a wrap, I was wrapped in dead vines. So after dinner, I like to read the Bible to my family. And of course, the first thing that I read to them today was John chapter 15. "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He takes away every branch in me that does not bear fruit, and everyone that does, he prunes, so that it bears more fruit. You are already pruned because of the word that I spoke to you. Remain in me, as I remain in you. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit on its own unless it remains on the vine, so neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever remains in me and I in him will bear much fruit, because without me, you can do nothing." And that's exactly how I felt. I felt like God was missing. And I was, what am I going to do now? My mission is with God. It's God's will. And if I don't have God helping and directing me, I feel very lost. And then so it goes on. Oh, this is good. "So anyone who does not remain in me will be thrown out like the branch and wither." That's how I felt, like the dead vines. It's not that I wasn't like, I don't pray. I just wasn't doing consistently enough. I wasn't calling for God. And that separation definitely allows for sin. And I definitely experienced that too, which is awful. So it goes on to say, "People will gather them and throw them into the fire, and they will be burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask for whatever you want, and it will be done for you. By this is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples. As the Father loves me, so I also love you. Remain in my love." And then it goes on, and I love this. "This is my commandment, love one another as I love you." And then I kept reading, and the very next paragraph answers a question that I had, not a question, more of like a feeling, about friendship and how sometimes I feel so alone. I know it's kind of weird because I am very friendly and social, and I have a lot of friends, but I don't know. Sometimes you just feel lonely, right? Like, it's kind of sad. But part of it is like me doing this. I don't feel totally comfortable with this, but I do feel like God's led me here to share my experiences And I promised him when I was little that I would do that. So that's why I'm doing this. And it took me years. I mean, I'm talking, I was a little kid, you know, and I've always been called to write stuff down, capture this on, at the time I had like a cassette player, like get this on cassette, you know, and I never really took the plunge. I always felt like, I don't know, something was holding me back. And sometimes I would write and then I wouldn't really know what to write. And so it wasn't until kind of really recently when a couple people tried to give me courage. And so I'm doing this, but this is kind of what was stopping me. The world's hatred, right? Because everybody, I mean, a lot of people feel really comfortable writing things about people that are mean online. And I kind of wanted to avoid that, you know, especially because I'm putting it out there. This is my heart. This is my personal life with God. And so anyway, I went on to read this. And it just, I felt like it was God acknowledging that he was hearing me in prayer. If the world hates you, realize that it hated me first. If you belong to the world would love its own. But because you do not belong to the world, and I have chosen you out of the world hates you. And then it goes on to say, the Spirit of truth. So when the advocate comes, whom I will send you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who I know well, and he's like my BFF, you know? It's like, it's God, it's Jesus, but it's in the Spirit. Spirit of truth that proceeds from the Father, he will testify to me, and you also testify, because you have been with me from the beginning. So I hope you like that and it spoke to you. See you next time.